Prince Dimitri and the remnants of the royal army join with the remaining Knights of Seiros to form a revitalized kingdom army. Using Garreg Mach as their base of operations, they rise to action against the Empire.
So you were alive after all.
Professor, it is so
Everybody's
good to see you
here
again.
except
My
Hanneman,
brother
but
and I
I'm
were
okay with
worried
that.
about you.
Guess you lucked out. We've been looking everywhere for you, but I see Lady Rhea isn't with you. Damn.
Everyone was real worried about you, Professor.
Gilbert told us everything. We'll help you however we can, of course.
It does my heart well to see that all of you are safe. Now that we have all gathered, let's discuss our next course of action.
We have two objectives: to overthrow the Empire and to rescue Rhea. I have no objection to joining forces with you. After all, our interests are aligned.
Nothing could be more reassuring than securing the cooperation of the Knights of Seiros.
Okay. Let's fight together.
The Archbishop entrusted all of her affairs to you. From now on, I shall comply with your wishes.
We'll make Garreg Mach our base, and prepare to make our stand against the Empire. There is a fair amount of damage, but we will at least have shelter from the wind and rain.
Surely those Imperial jerks have this place staked out, right? It's a highly strategic location.
While it may be a strategic location, it's too far from the front lines to be worthy of notice at the moment. This area is inconvenient as far as transport time is concerned, so it's of little importance to their war effort.
Even so, nothing slips past the Emperor. It is safe to assume she at least has this place under surveillance.
Professor, what do you think about making this place our base?
Gathering resources will be difficult.
Yes, that is a valid concern. Fortunately, there are still villages and hamlets nearby, and though I wouldn't call them abundant, we have war funds as well. What do you think, Your Highness?
Do as you please.
Hey, don't act like this doesn't concern you. We finally are reunited after all this time. We've got to work together.
She's right. In fact, why don't we all join forces and clean this place up a bit?
Oh yeah, that's a great idea. And it'll give us time to reminisce about all the good old days at the Academy. I can't wait!
How carefree of you.
It may sound trivial, but, well, I think it's a good idea.
I understand feeling impatient, Your Highness, but patience is key at a time like this. If we fix up our base, it will improve morale, which will be sorely needed as we...
Fools.
Let's all settle down.
Stay out of this.
Please, calm yourself, Your Highness. We are not your enemies.
My enemies say the same.
What happened to him? It's like he's a completely different person.
I feel so bad for him. Would it help if I brewed him a nice pot of tea?
I cannot claim to understand how he feels. However, the way he's behaving, it's as though he's being haunted by some unseen force.
Okay. He wasn't always like this.
Perhaps.
Okay, yeah, I'll definitely explore. We need to talk to our friends.
Professor.
Oh, hey Ash. You didn't waste any time, did you? Let's talk. That's oh my gosh, look how many supports. All the supports. Oh, Bernadetta, that haircut is unfortunate. Time to catch up with all the friends.
Apologies for bothering you so late. I just really wanted to speak with you.
I'm happy to listen.
Thank you. You see, I've been feeling conflicted about my future. The truth is, I've wanted to be a knight ever since I was a small child. Not just any knight, like one you might find serving within the castle guard, but a true knight, one serving a master. However, my father has always had different plans for me. He wants me to marry for the benefit of the Galatea family.
You don't have to do anything you don't want to.
Defying my father feels wrong. I've seen how he's struggled over the years. His burden has always been far greater than any I've had to bear myself. While he fed me extravagant meals, he subsisted on meager portions and watered-down soups. He never once complained, even though he must have been starving. Knowing his sacrifices, I've never been able to tell him of my dream of becoming a knight. Now that this war has begun, my father has allowed me to fight for my homeland. But even if I do become a knight, I feel an unease deep within me. I fear I will never escape this guilt I carry, that I have shunned my duty as a noble.
Okay. Could you find a way to do both?
To follow both my dream and my duty? I had never considered that as an option. Perhaps there is a way. Even with the academy days long behind us, you're still a professor through and through. Always listening to others' troubles and offering up your wisdom. I really am grateful for all that you do for us, Professor. I hope you'll always be here as a guide to everyone. I know I myself would appreciate that deeply.
Let's see, you're fighting more intensely than usual.
Yes, I am in a hurry. Edelgard claims victory after victory. She never stops. 5 years ago, she ascended the throne and swept away the corrupt nobles, my father included. I always thought I would be the one to unseat him. But she did it instead, with all the ease and indifference of someone cracking an egg. She put my father under house arrest. She stripped House Eyre of its power. Rather than accepting a role as her puppet, I left. Now I fight to topple the Empire. The disparity between Edelgard and myself is obvious. She never stops moving forward, single-minded, never wavering. But where does that leave me? Here, flailing about, going nowhere, contributing nothing.
That's not true.
But it is. That is the reality. Not once since our days at the Academy have I exceeded Edelgard's abilities. I saw her as a worthy opponent. She did not even see me as a contender. She did not even consider me at all. As the head of the noble House Eyre, I must be able to achieve results. But all my efforts have come to nothing. Results are everything. I have not shown results, so I will be stagnating here forever.
See, but you have achieved results.
I appreciate your kind words, but you are wrong. I know that I have a massive wall to climb, and I must climb it alone. Even so, may I ask a favor?
Yes.
Professor, please keep an eye on my progress. I would appreciate if you were always by my side, bearing witness to my accomplishments.
Of course.
This may
Catch
seem
it up
a
with
bit
all my
sudden,
friends.
but I want to thank you, Professor. That is, for letting me live my life the way I want. Professor, may I tell you a story about when I was younger? I was an orphan,
Of course.
living in the back alleys of Enbar, until one day I was overheard singing. That was when my new life began. I was suddenly a songstress in the Mittelfranc Opera Company. Performers, nobility. I met so many people. But none of them ever really knew me. I was just some young, pretty girl who could sing. A spectacle to be admired. Even though everyone praised my looks and my voice and they showered me with gifts, I knew one day I'd be old. My looks would fade, my voice would change. I wouldn't sound the same. And I started to wonder, when I did get old, what would I have left? I'd be old, alone, and back on the streets of the capital, right where I'd started.
I won't let you be alone.
That's sweet of you, even if you are just flirting. I never had much to begin with in life, and I worry that one day I'll be that way again. That's why I keep searching for someone who will love me. Someone
I really hope you do
unaware of
find
the
someone,
songstress,
Dorothea.
who can love a girl that used to be scared and alone on the streets of the capital. I wonder if such a strange person can even exist.
Someone definitely exists.
Do you have a moment, Professor? I need to speak with you. Thank
Of
you
course.
so much. This is what I wanted to address. This letter from my adoptive father just arrived.
Adoptive father?
Oh, have I not mentioned him? He's the reason I first came to the Officers' Academy. He's also the one who dragged me from the church where I was living, just so he could use my crest.
I don't understand.
My crest does not yet belong to a house, so he plans to use it as leverage to marry into the nobility. He's a very greedy man who was a roving merchant before adopting me, but now he's in the capital. This letter says that he's finally arranged to marry me off to a wealthy noble. I know he's just thinking of himself, but can't he see that this isn't a priority when we're at war?
My thoughts exactly.
I don't know what to do about this proposal.
Will you accept?
I can't see any way around it, so I fear that I must. I just don't want to let go of the life that I've made for myself. I know it's not what my heart wants, but I don't have the strength to say no.
What does your heart want?
I believe I've mentioned this before, but I want to work in service of the church. Well, I suppose it doesn't necessarily have to be the church, but I want to help those in need. If I were to marry a noble, I think it would be difficult to realize that dream.
Why can't you decline?
It's just, I've always allowed myself to follow the whims of those above me. I convinced myself that everything in life was at the will of the goddess. I was blind to reality. I believed it was her will to both pull me from the church and guide me to the Officers' Academy. The decision to enter this war was the first time I acted of my own free will. My adoptive father opposed this decision, but I somehow managed to convince him. Still, I couldn't free myself of him completely. This letter is proof of that. It's not that I'm scared of him, but there is something that worries me.
Severing your ties?
I knew you'd understand, Professor. I've sat down to write a reply several times, but I can't muster up the courage or the words. I was hoping you could provide me with the encouragement I need.
You can't just give up on your dreams.
That's a very good point. We're only given one life, so we must.
She
do
really
all
just
we can
YOLO
to
on
pursue
me?
our happiness. Okay. I think that may have been just the push I was looking for. I'll tell him the truth. That I found a life worth pursuing, and I must decline the proposal. Maybe I should tell him I've fallen for someone else.
Who might that be? I say with the most deadpan face.
Why, it's you, Professor. Isn't that obvious?
Oh. I wouldn't say obvious.
I'm just teasing.
Okay.
I'm off to write this letter and stand my ground.
So we've had a support with Ash where he's like, I really like you, and we were just like, and then we had a support with Dorothea, and she's like, oh, you're just flirting with me. We had a support with Mercedes, and she's like, I really like you, and we were like, wait, what? She's like, I was teasing. Well, this is awkward.
Oh, hi, Professor.
You look down.
Do you remember what we talked about before? About doing my best to not do my best? Well, I've been pretty busy recently, and despite my best efforts, I've been trying way too hard. I was busy all day yesterday with training and work. I just couldn't help myself. That's why I decided to take a day off today. It's just, now that I have a day off, I don't know what to do with myself. Please, you have to help me. What should I do?
Have a nap.
I tried that. I couldn't calm down enough to fall asleep. I'm sorry, but I don't think I'm cut out for not doing my best. Oh! You're a professor. You must know some secret technique for deep relaxation, right? If you do,
this is the sauna.
please teach me. I'm begging you. I'm at my wit's end.
Have a cup of tea, have some sweets. She likes sweets.
Got it. I'll try that right now. This candy is so sweet and delicious, and it goes so well with piping hot tea. Ooh, and speaking of the tea, your brewing skills are incredible. I'd love to be able to make such nice tea, but... Oh, Professor, will you teach me how to brew tea like this? I'll do my best to learn, and then I'll make delicious tea for you as thanks.
Is that doing your best?
Oh, sorry. Back to my old tricks, it seems. So, why is it so difficult to not do my best? I try and try to not try, but it just doesn't work.
It seems we have reached an impasse. Just be yourself.
Professor? You're right. Doing nothing is just not my style. To be myself, I've got to do my best every day.
That's the spirit.
Okay. Then you really must teach me how to make such delicious tea. You will, won't you? Please. Oh, and also, well, thank you. You've listened to me and helped me face my troubles. Now I feel like I can talk to you about anything. Honestly, I wish we could go on drinking tea like this forever.
There you are, Ingrid.
Whoa, hi, Ash. You seem excited. What's that you're holding?
A book I found in town. I bought it for you.
From me? Ash, this looks very costly. Antique books like this are never cheap.
I drove a hard bargain. Still, I'll probably have to cut back on my spending for a while.
Why did you go to so much trouble?
It wasn't easy, but as soon as I came across this legend, I knew you had to read it too.
Well then, I will read it. Oh, the knight on the cover looks striking.
Fascinating, right?
Swords and
I
shields.
was captivated from the moment I laid eyes on the cover.
There's an aura of stoicism intermingled with beauty, even amid a gruesome battle. Wait, looking closer at the face, this knight is a woman.
Yes, and she was a real historical figure.
Her name
She
was
born
Eveline.
into a noble family and bore a crest, but she was accepted into the king's service as a knight. She fought in many battles at her king's side, serving him all her life as his right hand. Oh, sorry, I've said too much. I didn't mean to spoil the story for you. I'm just so excited. I hope you enjoy it too.
Thank you for the encouragement, Ash. Living as a knight is certainly not an easy task. I know it will mean much pain, strife, and heartache. But I still want to pursue that dream. Talking to you has reminded me. I'm not the type who gives up easily.
That's the Ingrid I know.
So to start, I'm going to read this book.
Great! When you're finished and freshly inspired, we'll talk about becoming knights. Not the ones in stories either. The real thing.
I look
The
forward
real
to
true
it, Ash.
things. Look at all these kitty cats too. I'll give you a fish. And I'll give you a fish. I'll give you 2 fish. You're a good kitty. Give you an arcane crystal. And then I'll give you a fish. All the goodies kitties. Hey greenhouse keeper, you still keeping those greens that I planted like 5 years ago?
Professor, is there any reason for me to remain here? I want to be useful, of course, but I'm not sure anyone needs me.
I need you here.
If you really mean that, I will stay and do my best to help.
Aw. You're good, Marianne. Ash and Raphael are here. Raphael, my big
The
boy.
Alliance is such a mess. How are we supposed to know where's safe and where's not? I should probably just move my little sis and grandpa to Garrick Mach. At least I could keep working on becoming a proper knight without having to worry about them. I gotta find him a house once things calm down a bit.
Oh, Raphael, I've missed you. Ash. Oh,
Is-
the dew.
Is Dedu really gone? There's so much more I wanted to say to him. He was always so tender with the flowers in the greenhouse. I wonder how they're doing.
I'm sure Dedu will be alright. Oh, I see Caspar in there. You won't believe what happened
Hey,
next!
Professor! You won't believe what happened. I figured I couldn't go back to the Empire after Garrick Mach fell, so I started drifting across the Kingdom and Alliance. Then, I just happened to run into our old class, so we came back to the monastery together.
Oh, thanks for coming along, Caspar.
Hey, Professor. It's been a while. It's really good to see you again. Gorgeous as ever, might I add. An awful lot has happened.
No,
in these
not a
past
chance,
5
Sylvain.
years.
That guy has places to go and nowhere to be.
Edelgard is controlling the Empire. She is putting the pressure on the Kingdom and Alliance. Empire and religion are at open war. It will be difficult for us at first, but corrupt nobles are many. That means the common people will rebel and be joining our side. With you, Professor, the battle tides will turn. I have certainty.
The Queen!
Garrick Mach is a mess. So is Dimitri, honestly. If not for you arriving, Professor, I'd be heading home about now. Though staying here is still more appealing than living with my big brother.
Oh, Hilda. Don't ever change, Hilda. I gotta say, there's... in the Golden Deer route, I think there's a fascinating scene where there's a battle that takes place later, but if you're on the Golden Deer house instead of the Blue Lion house, Dimitri just kind of dies off screen, and you find out about it through Hilda, and honestly, it's one of, like, it's a scene that has stayed with me this whole time, because for the most part you have Hilda who's just kind of like she's the lazy one, she's like, I don't want to do any work, I'm just a delicate flower. But like yeah, she's that way, but she's also the tank, so that's funny and all. But there's the one cutscene where you find out that Dimitri has died through Hilda, and it's just shockingly, like, serious, like, really devastating. Like, Hilda, who, as far as you know in the Golden Deer route, never speaks to Dimitri, but, like, she finds out he's dead, and she's just, like, devastated by it. I just think it's, like, it's a really effective scene. That has stuck with me. Oh, look at the puppy! Your dog is very, very perfect, sir. Hi, Dimitri. Good talk, Dimitri.